The central square of Ukraine's capital of Kiev has transformed into a 24-hour protest camp, where thousands of Ukrainians gather daily to call on the government to resign. Despite the occasional snowfall and temperatures that hover around freezing, protesters from across the country say they aren't leaving until President Viktor Yanukovich and his allies in parliament step down. Activists used wooden pallets and pieces of the city's annual Christmas tree to erect barricades around Kiev's Independence Square, keeping police out and giving the camp the feel of a little city within a city. The tree, which usually lights up for the holiday season, has instead been draped in protest banners and Ukrainian flags. The protests began after Yanukovych walked away from a long-anticipated deal with the European Union that would have brought the former Soviet Republic closer to the West. Those rallies escalated when police were caught on camera beating demonstrators during a late-night raid of their protest site. Activists say they're fed up with the government's failure to listen to their demands and say that a non-stop protest like this one is the only way to get attention.
I know that government do not hear our voice. They don't hear our arguments. They don't hear our normal conversations. And they hear just this language. They can understand just this arguments.
Volunteers dish out hot cups of tea and complimentary sandwiches, making sure that no one goes hungry. The camp also has a clothing exchange, where cold protesters can find scarves and sweaters to bundle up. The demonstrations have even brought together members of different religious groups to call for closer ties with Europe.
We pray for the Ukrainian people. We ask God to give wisdom to the Ukrainian authorities. We want them to realize their mistakes and improve the situation in the country. We also want to show our position and demonstrate it publicly so that Ukrainians can see that the church supports them. The church always used to be with the people, especially during war periods and calamities.
The recent rallies have been the biggest since Ukraine's 2004 Orange Revolution, when hundreds of thousands flooded Kiev and cities across the country to protest an election riddled with fraud. This time, with the government showing no signs of changing course and frustration on the streets still high, protests don't look likely to end anytime soon.